This is Maureen for the Raw and Radical on Display podcast, conversations with amazing women in the arts. Welcome to the Raw and Radical on Display podcast. This is your host, Maureen, and today we are getting real with a fabulous woman who brings wonders, poetry, and happiness to the world, Eva Armisén. Eva lives and works in Barcelona, or close by Barcelona. She's a painter. She does a lot of public art installation and also works on projects such as advertising, film, television campaigns, and editorial projects. Hello, Eva. How are you?
Hello. Very good. Happy to be here to talk with you.
Yeah, welcome to the show. You drive your inspiration from daily life and everyday moments. Could you tell me a little bit about it and the stories behind your work?
Basically, I started drawing because I wanted to fix the things that moved me. And in a really selfish way, I really didn't that feelings to go away. And that was the reason I started to draw them. And I think that was really long ago when I was about 16 or something. Didn't change so much in my whole career. And most of the things that move me happen in daily life and with the people I have around. So that's maybe the reason that a lot of my paintings are representing like that area of life that sometimes family or sometimes the countryside I have around my studio, but they all talk about emotions.
Yeah, I mean, I can see that for your art. It's so poetic and it's so sensible in a way, and it really brings out this feeling of comfort, and there's something very generous about your work.
Oh, thank you.
For me, it gives a lot, and it's so giving. And I was wondering how do you see that, because to be able to give so much, you also have to receive, right?
That's right, and it's really nice, the process right nowadays, because I'm getting back, I'm receiving back what the people gets from my paintings, which is kind of closing a really beautiful circle. Because first of all, I want to translate. I mean, I want to put in the painting that emotion or that feeling I felt really moved by. And then when that feeling it goes through, another person can get it. Most of the time, maybe in different ways. And I'm working with a lot of different cultures. So the message delivered is probably in a lot of times really different than the one that I was thinking. But the emotion is there also. I'm in a way, I'm getting it back now with exhibitions and with contact with the people. So it's beautiful. It's a receiving I was not expecting.
Yeah. So you say that when you paint, it fixes emotion. So you grab the emotion of life and you put them in your painting. So you really capture the mundane, the everyday scene, right? And you make something glorious. So there is glory in the simplicity. That's how I feel it. So you connect and communicate deeply, because emotions are quite deep. Now that we are bombarded with images that are not very positive, you bring so much positivity with your images. So it's really powerful, I think. How do you see that, your work that is so positive and happy compared to what's around?
Yeah, that's really interesting what you say, because I think one of the things made me focus on positive things was the feeling that I was getting all the time negative messages that were at the end manipulating my opinion and my way of seeing the world. And I think it's probably more convenient, that kind of messages, in the sense that that it's easier to have you under control, frightening you and the world outside some place where you don't want to live in. And I think that is there, of course it is, but there are a lot of other things that sometimes we don't put the eye on, and are the ones that make you live every day and that give you that energy you need. And one thing for me that is really wonderful about painting or about creating in general is that you have the power of changing things. And you can write your own story, and once you discover it's really difficult to quit with it, you can just put a different point of view on the things. And that's what I try with my paintings.
I feel like your paintings liberate the world in a way. It opens doors to something more free, more happy. And we are so controlled in a way by the images and the news and the press. It brings so much fear. And I really believe that the one way to evolve is to really get away from this in a way and start to create our own world and our own universe. So changing the perspective, changing the viewpoint, and focusing on the positive. Do you, in your own life, is it something easy for you to do, to focus on positive as much in life as in your own work?
Well, I have to tell you, it's a kind of exercise of gymnastic, you know. When you get used to do it, you do it without thinking about it. And it's not easy because, of course, in my life, as in everyone's life, there is a little bit of everything. But I try, and in the way you were talking before about women and about how difficult it is sometimes to conciliate our life with our work, as an artist especially, with all the difficulty that means, for me, the work and the passion I feel about painting, about the projects I gave through that, gave me really a strength that makes me feel safe about that. Even when I don't feel positive about a lot of other things, I know that my work is mine and that I don't need anything but a pencil and a paper, and nobody can take me that out. So that feeling makes me feel really, really positive, and I try not to forget that. So that helps me for sure.
It's really wonderful what you're saying, because I know you're a mother.
Yeah.
And so you have to give a lot to your art and to being a mother. Sometimes it's a difficult thing.
Yeah.
And it's not the same thing as working on your art. And I think this is such an important point to think that you have the artwork to go back to. You mentioned in an interview that it's really important for you to be independent, to be free. Can you talk a bit about that?
Yeah. For me, that is really, really basic. I would say it's the most important for me to keep my independence. It has been since I was a little girl. I think my mom delivered that message really clear to me, that no matter what you do, you can do it alone or in a team, but try to be always independent, just in case. And that has helped me a lot. That's really freedom. I mean, when you know that when things don't go like you would like or you desire, to know that you are able to go on your own is basic. And for that, you have to be independent. I can't imagine my life living or hanging from someone. That doesn't mean that I have a lot of needs with others, of course. But in an extreme case, I know that I have my own work and it's my territory, and I can decide what to do or what to don't do, you know. That I think is really basic in life for me.
Yeah, this is really great, and I think it can be really inspiring for a lot of people. I also see that you do a lot of collaborations, and you bring art like that to everybody, and I think this is so wonderful, because sometimes as artists we stay very confined in the art world. And it doesn't always reach a lot of people. And there I see you reach people of all age, children, adults.
Yeah.
It's really wonderful, yeah.
I love that. And sometimes it's like, it depends on which kinds of circles that can be confusing, because for me it's a really, in the beginning it was more confusing, and to be popular is really, it can be really nice. I mean, sometimes like art and popularity cannot go together for a lot of minds. But in my case, my experience is that I have got always really good feedback for all different collaborations. And to put art in life, like children or really different cultures, make different ways of seeing the world. So I think I'm really lucky person to have so many different projects. Like I can work for companies and make some advertising with a message I get already, or I can illustrate a book of poetry of someone that has nothing to do with me, and then I'm able to get into her life or to his life, which is kind of going out of that confinement you were talking before. But just doing one thing, it's almost impossible.
It feels like a driving force.
Oh, yeah.
You know, to me, this is how I see you. I don't know if you like this idea, but I see you really as a very powerful.
Yeah.
Because you bring so many people with you through your art, and it. You know, I saw a video where little children are drawing characters that look like what you do, and so wonderful because it brings people with you. It's you like this really strong driving force of the creative, a feminine force that moves forward, and it's really powerful and amazing. But what do you think about that?
Well, I didn't. I mean, it was not a thing I used to think, but nowadays I'm having a really big exhibition in Seoul, and that has made me see another perspective of I mean, normally I have done a lot of collaborations and things, and it's true that I have been working with children, with adults in different ways, public art, but this exhibition is really big. Thousands of people are visiting it. And the feeling I got when I was there was really strange to me. I mean, it was like I was in a kind of dream.
Wow.
Or that it couldn't be real, because I was not able even to imagine such a thing. You know, so many people, and from all ages, and men, women, children, old people, everybody. And wow, I mean, I feel really grateful for sure. But it's something that makes me think that that when you develop a work in the right position, I mean the right place, and you touch the feelings of the people can react really strong, and that I told you before about the power of painting and changing the things, but I was a little bit afraid to move so many people around. You know, it was like, wow, I have to. And it's really nice because it happened in Korea, which is not my hometown. And so I can keep a distance on that one. And I can think about it. And I still don't have a conclusion about if I like it or not. I mean, I like it, of course, but what it moves me is really strong. I can't understand it very well. It's a kind of phenomenon, and then you think, I don't know if it's my art, if it's promotion, if it's all together, if it's the moment, if it's, I don't know exactly what it is, but I have seen people really moved, and that's moved me deeply also.
Because this show is there till the end of March, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, wonderful. Well, you know, for me, this is really creative woman energy of really creation in its pure form. And this is really inspiring for every woman that creates, I think, you know, to know that you can have that power.
Yeah. I don't know, you know, when I'm a lot of times, I mean, with I have two teenagers right now, one 18 and the other one 17. So, but since they were really little, I never felt I had to leave my career behind. And I used to think that I wanted to deliver them the message that I was a worker, passionate about my work. And that is the message I would like them to keep. And when I was feeling with so many people, of course, you doubt and you think, oh, I should do that in a different way. But really, I was not able. I couldn't just say, okay, I stop some years and then I will be back. And at the end, I feel that I'm that way. And when I was just getting all that emotion back, I thought, wow, this is it has been the work of many years, and also a lot of things that I have left a little bit behind, right? Not this, because I was not looking for that, but anyway, it came, and it's strange also for a woman to be able to work so much, and you need support for sure around to do it, for sure.
So how did you deal with this doubt? I can totally understand what it means, to want to spend your time creating and taking care of your kids and trying to find a good balance, so you're happy with everything you do, because a lot of women stop working, stop creating when they have children because they don't have the support around them.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I have to, women, we are really the champions in feeling guilty about everything we do.
Yeah.
And I'm not the exception, really. I don't know how it would be if I had done it in a different way, but it wouldn't be me. So probably now that they're getting older, I see them and I see things that maybe could work out better if I was more on top of them, or maybe not. You will never know. But I'm proud of them, and I think they will make their own way. And I needed to make mine also. So that's really personal. But I have to tell you that I have moments that I still feel guilty, and I have to tell to myself, come on. There are more people involved in all this. It's not your own thing. I mean, it's not only you. There is a father, there is family, there is everyone has to be implied in it, right? So, yeah, it's hard. It's hard because society doesn't help at all. And you are supposed to do certain things. And when you don't do them, then you're a bad mom, or you are doing things the way you shouldn't. But anyway, I think every mom does what we can. I mean.
Yeah, and I feel it's about creating new ways to do things, new pathways, and it's also being a good example for other women, who they might feel like they cannot do it, or they cannot live the life they want. So this is why it's so important to do it and to keep following our heart, right?
Yes.
And what's important for us. So your work is a lot about relationships. Can you tell me a bit about that? Because there's a lot of storytelling, I feel, in your work. It's very poetic, and we can see that relationships are important for you. There is also a strong relationship to nature in your work. Yeah,
that's right. Yeah. It talks basically about that, because in my paintings, almost always, it's the interaction between them which I'm interested. I think that's the most important in life, the relation you have with the others, and the feelings that come out, and also with yourself, of course. So I try to represent that things that I feel like, as I told you in the beginning, that move me inside, that I feel that they're really strong. It can be really stupid details, but they activate nice things inside. It's like when you think about the past and you think about, I don't know, I'm inventing now, but the relation I used to have with my grandma, for example, the things she said, or the places where I was with her. I like to try to bring back that things, and on the other hand, to keep the freshness of a drawing that doesn't complicate the message. There is the strength of the message. So they are simple stories, but you can complicate them as much as you want, because when you talk about love, I can have an idea and you will probably have a different one. And it depends a lot on our own experiences that you identify with one painting or the other one, and it brings you things that a lot of times I even can't imagine.
Yeah, on one of your latest work and project. It's about the island of Jeju.
Yes.
You illustrated a book also with that to explain the story of these women that are female divers.
Yeah. That has been like one of the most beautiful presents I have gotten since I'm working as a painter. Someone contacted me and told me that there was a filmmaker that shot. It was really, a really stupid story, but really beautiful at the same time. I was in Shanghai working, and I saw a magazine with photos of these women divers. And I was with Christina, my sister, and I told her, oh my God, they look to me like wild animals. These ladies are really strong, really, really strong. Their image, they're old, most of them, the 70s, and some of them are 90 years old. So they're dressed with this suit. They make themselves really rudimentary and really beautiful to me. And the colors, because this photographer, I saw the photos, just took the photos when they went out of the water. So these ladies started in 1700 after one of the Japanese invasions. This land was completely devastated. So the ladies, there were no men, almost no men, and ladies didn't have anything. So they developed this way of diving with no oxygen, and they can go more than 20 meters down. And just to collect avalones, octopus, and different kind of fish. And so they teach from mom to daughters. Of course, now it's like almost impossible. It's really, really hard life. And the young ladies go to the city and they are not interested, most of them. So it's going to disappear. But still, the ladies are there working, and I saw that photos and I told to my sister, I need to go to Jeju Island. I want to see these ladies working. And the next trip we had to Korea, we traveled to Jeju, and I made some fast sketches, just seeing them from the edge. And then I draw them, and a local newspaper published these drawings I made. And I was so lucky. Then there is this documentary filmmaking lady that had been more than 7 years living in a really little island, Udo Island, with them, and had filmed them in a beautiful documentary. And then this lady saw my drawings and emailed me to say if I wanted to help her in the film. It was like a dream.
That's great.
Yeah, and then of course I said yes. Then I traveled to Seoul. I prepared, we made a kind of presentation of the film, and then she offered me to travel to Udo Island with her and to stay in the houses with these ladies and see them working. And we were there some days, and I was really, really, really impressed because they are strong. They're really, really proud of what they do. They work in a team of women that actually they trust each other because their lives are hanging on the other one. They dive in teams, in little teams. So each one takes care of the one next. And they have such a big respect for nature. They know perfectly the sea, of course. So to live with them was an experience. And the film director offered me to illustrate this book that she wrote about them. And that's the story of it. And it's a really beautiful, beautiful book because explains the story of 3 generations of the grandma, the mom, and the little girl. And the little girl makes a lot of questions, and she cannot understand why the mom are the whole day in the sea, risking their lives without an oxygen tank and a lot of things. And then, in a way, the book talks about greed, about how you have to take care, how you have to see that you don't need so many things, and you shouldn't do anything to get things you want, right?
Nice. You know what? For me, this is a really beautiful metaphor in a way. I mean, on a lot of levels, but especially on the one of following your heart, meeting people and opportunity that come to you because you're following your heart, and discovering things that you like and following this. And this is really inspiring and true, because this is what you do for your life. If when the daily life inspires you, this idea to actually act is what brought you where you are now, right?
Totally. And every time more I follow that kind of I don't know how you call it in English, but it's like you feel it, and then it's easy to stop that feeling like, wow, it's so far, I don't have time, I shouldn't go out of house, whatever. But I try to follow, and also to say to the people I really like what they do, say it, because I think that unless it's not really normal, and it's really good when you see the work of someone else that is good and that inspires you and that motivates you. It's really nice to tell to that person what you do is great. So, and now I'm practicing that, and I have to tell you that it's really wonderful what I'm getting back from it, because a lot of collaborations are coming out, yes, for sharing your opinion and giving good feelings to the other when you really think it. I mean, it's not fake. It's the truth. Yeah.
This is great. Do you have any word of advice for other female creator, woman artists? Anything you could share that can, from what you've learned? Because I'm sure you've learned so much in life with all your experiences?
Well, the thing I have learned, and I can tell you now, I mean, more or less that I have been working for a long time already, is that I don't have any certain things, it's really hard in life to be certain about anything, but I know I'm going to be painting till I can. When you create, it's like when you fall in love, there is nothing to do. I mean, you have to do it. And unless it has been like that for me, and I hope it's going to be like that for always. So I just think that when you are a creative person or an artist, and if you listen to yourself, that power, it's inside you, and you have to keep just listening to it, because it will lead you to work. There are a lot of failures that are coming, but also nice things, and you know that you don't need anything to create but yourself, and that, I mean, nobody can take you from that. So that's my advice. Just trust in what you think you can do, and go for it, and work.
Great. Yeah, because your work has hope, right? Yes. So it seems to be a big theme to faith and hope in a way.
Yes, hope is basic. Yeah. Sure.
Yeah, cool. Any upcoming project you would like to tell us about?
Well, I'm really into next month. I'm going to Seoul again because of the exhibition. That it's going to be probably after Seoul, then the Seoul Art Center is going to be traveling to other cities in Seoul, and maybe China and Taiwan. We are still on it. We will see. I think April, I'm going to have a show in Hong Kong. And in May, I will have a show going on in Lisbon, where I work a lot also. And in the meantime, I'm working on. I have 3 books now out, and we are in the middle of the promotions. Yeah, but I'm really happy, and I'm working and with new projects coming all the time.
Yeah, so this is going to be super fun. Lots of travels and meeting new people.
Yes, I love that. Great. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much, Eva, for sharing all of this.
Welcome, my pleasure. And I hope this podcast is just like a stimulating for other women that have been struggling, and I'm still struggling also with a lot of things. But we can do it, I'm sure.
Yeah, this is great. I hope so too. And I think life is just, we can have good periods and harder periods, and it always moves and changes. So we always need a bit of inspiration.
Yeah, sure, I'm with you. Yeah.
Well, thanks so much. We're gonna read all the details of your website in the show notes below.
Okay.
And people can follow you there. And yeah, this is great. Thanks so much. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Thank you.
I hope you enjoyed this episode. Please leave me comments or questions. Don't forget to subscribe to the newsletter and follow us on social media. Until next time, get lost.